So we will be discussing the solution to exercise 18. It says Jared wants a spreadsheet to calculate the cost of smaller events for a customer. The spreadsheet will include the equipment the customer wants to hire. Set up the layout of the spreadsheet as follows. So you are to create a spreadsheet with this particular setting. And whenever you are asked to create a model on a spreadsheet, try to be exactly as it is, or as it is specified or shown in the paper. So A1, we need to enter number attending. You can see the case sensitivity. The first letter is basically kept capitals. Secondly, the second word is appearing on the second line. So you type in number. In order to go on to the second line in the same cell, the shortcut is Alt plus Enter. Okay, so number attending. Then we have speaker system. Speaker system. Then we have speaker cost. Then we have A6 lighting system. System is on the other line. Then we have lighting cost. Seating and seating cost. So A9 is seating, and then we have seating cost. Security is on A12. And then we have cost of event A15. So cost of event. We'll best fit this, and this is how it looks. So save the spreadsheet as event underscore model underscore your center number, your candidate number. So you go to file, you click on save as, click on browse, select where you want to save it. I'm going to save it in the same folder with the name event model. So event underscore model underscore PK147 underscore 0063. Save as type is Excel workbook. Okay. So we click on save. Next. It says the number of people attending the event must be entered into the cell B1. So those who are going to attend the event are going to be entered in B1. Restrict the data entry to the cell to allow only numbers between 1 and 100 inclusive. Okay, so we need to restrict the data entry. For that, we need to go to data and then data validation. Let me zoom in for you. All right. So it's going to allow a whole number between 1 till 100. So the values that you mention here, they are going to be inclusive. You can add the error message. You should be adding the error message. So let's say invalid entry, and you may only enter numbers from, or let's say people attending, enter people attending from 1 to 100 inclusive. So that'll be your custom message. Got this? So if I type in 200, I get to have the error message. And if I get to add 100, this will be accepted. That means 100 acceptable and 1 is also acceptable. So the boundaries that you set in your data validation, they are basically inclusive. Next. Methods of selection must be validated lists. Okay. The method of selection for the speaker system must only contain options to select 4 speakers or 6 speakers. So method of selection for the speaker system over here, we need to apply the data validation. Again, we go to data validation, go to settings, select validated list. The source is 4 speakers, comma, 6 speakers. You don't have to actually have the error message for this because this is going to be in cell drop down or drop down menu. So we drop it down and we select. Next up, the speaker cost must be displayed in cell B4. So where do we need to display this? Over here. And enter formula into the cell to automatically display the speaker cost, which is dependent on the number of people attending the event. The cost must be looked up from this file, which is equipment underscore hire underscore costs. So let's open up that document and examine that document. So number of people attending, we have up to 50 and up to 100. So if I select 4 speakers and the number of people attending are, let's say, 20, so that means this is the cost. And if the number of people attending are 80, then this is the cost. Do we get this? And if I select 6 speakers and the number of people attending are 90, what should be the cost? 250. And if it is 10 people attending, 6 speakers, then it's going to be 225. So we need to have the corresponding cost based on the number of people attending and the speaker system that they select. So in order to apply this, what can we do? Let's say the people attending are 60. I've added this and the speaker system is 4 speakers. I need to have the corresponding cost displayed. Which function do you think will work? If, okay, why? You have two options. Hmm. Okay, so basically we have to satisfy two conditions and the options that we have are 4. Okay? Because 4 speakers up to 50 and up to 100, 6 speakers up to 50 and up to 100. So we have 4 options, but there are 2 conditions. The major condition is what? Is it the speaker system or is it the people attending? What do you think? People attending or 4 speakers or 6 speakers? Which one is the major condition? It's number of people attending. Because, if I don't enter anything over here and I just select 6 speakers or 4 speakers, I still cannot, get to know a cost or get to a particular cost because I don't know how many people are going to attend. Only if I have the number of people attending, I might be able to get to the cost. You see? So this is basically a major criteria. Number of people attending. How many number of people attending? You go for a booking. I want to book this hall for a particular event. The first question that they will ask, how many number of people attending? Okay. So if let's say I put in 40 over here, I need to have the corresponding cost, right? So that can be applied by, let's say, VLOOKUP. Can I get the corresponding values? So it's either going to be the column number 2 or the column number 3, right? Column number 2, if it is up to 50, column number 3, if it is up to 100. You get my point? Achha. So what if I write equals to if, should I zoom in? If I write equals to if the number of people attending the event are greater than 50. कर सकते हैं, right? So what happens? If that happens, we look up, take a look at the speaker system that you're going to use, comma, the table array from the other file, you select this whole, you put a comma, what should be the column number? 3, very nice. So comma, 0. greater than 50 है ना, ठीक है. So comma, value false. What happens if they are not greater than 50? If they are not greater than 50, I have to apply the same function, but the column number should be 2, right? So I can write VLOOKUP, again the same function, VLOOKUP, look at this value, comma, take it from this table, comma, 2, comma, 0, 2 to 5. Is it correct? So 40 people, 6 speakers. 40 people should be this category, 6 speakers, this value. Now look at this function. Pretty long, no? Anna? So let's try another method. Equals to VLOOKUP, bracket open. Look up this value, comma, from this table, comma. Now, column index. It's either 2 or 3, which is based on the number of people attending. So, column number is actually dependent on the number of people attending. So, I will apply equals to if, or not equals to, just if this is greater than 50, then take it column number as 3. Otherwise, take the column number as 2. What do you have to say about this? Huh? It should work. Comma. Now, exact match. It should be 0. This should also get me the right value, which is 225. Yes. हाँ जी.
तो इसमें अपने beyond is greater than 50, तो हम 100 up to 100 वाले उसको पहले ले रहे हैं. तो अगर हमने up to 50 वाले को लेना है तो वो कैसे?
देखो, up to 50 ऑटोमेटिकली बन जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि B1 के अंदर हमने वैलिडेशन लगाई हुई है. B1 के अंदर हम 1 से 100 तक नहीं नंबर डाल सकते हैं, राइट? हमें वो अलाउ सिर्फ 100 तक करेगा. सो ग्रेटर देन 50 का मतलब क्या हुआ? 51 से लेके 100 तक, दैट विल बी अप टू 100. जो अप टू 50 है, दैट इज बेसिकली फ्रॉम 1 टिल 50. उसके अलावा तो एंट्री नहीं होगी ना. सो मैं आई एम मेकिंग यूज ऑफ द वैलिडेशन अप्लाइड इन दिस सेल व्हिच इज B1. आई एम टेकिंग असिस्टेंस और लेट्स से हेल्प फ्रॉम दिस कि ग्रेटर देन 50 की जरूरत है मुझे. अगर मैं लेट्स से वहां पे डाल देता हूं अप टू 50 वाली कंडीशन, अप टू 50 वाली कंडीशन मैं किस तरह डालूंगा? lesser than or equals to 50, right? So I can do this कि if I put this lesser than or equals to 50, then my column numbers would change. This should be 2 and then it should be 3. Okay, that should also give me the right value. So this can be done. But if you say कि मैं greater than 1 लगा दूं, तो greater than 1 तो 20 भी होगा, 80 भी होगा. So फिर वो सारों को cater कर लेगा. फिर वो condition को meet नहीं करेगा. So I have to start off from the 50. The reference point needs to be 50. It can be lesser than or equals to or greater than 50. वो भी लगा सकते हैं. वो ऑटोमेटिकली कंसिडर हो जाएगा. ग्रेटर देन जो 50 है उसके लिए वैल्यू जो है वो दूसरी है. और द क्वेश्चन शुड कम इन के व्हाट इफ वी ऐड समथिंग व्हिच इज 300. तो 300 हमें B1 में एंटर ही नहीं करने देगा बिकॉज द वैलिडेशन इज अप्लाइड. सो वो ऑटोमेटिकली लिमिट सेट हुई भी 100 की. ठीक है, आगे चले. Now the method of selection for the lighting system must only contain options to select white lighting or colored lighting. So lighting system, select data validation. We go to list. This needs to be white lighting or colored lighting. Okay, you need to be very careful with the spellings and the case. Click on OK. This is also a drop down menu. We can drop it down. We can select both the settings. अच्छा, उसके बाद क्या है? The lighting cost must be displayed in cell B7. Enter formula into this cell to automatically display the lighting cost, which is dependent on the number of people attending the event. The cost must be looked up from the file equipment hire, this and that. So basically exactly the same criteria. So we have white lighting and we have colored lighting. We have four possible outcomes. Okay. So exactly the same function needs to be applied for the lighting as well. Let's So equals to if, not if. Let's start with VLOOKUP. Bracket open. This is our lookup value, comma. Table array is going to be taken from this file, comma. Now I need to put in my column number. So that is if the number of people attending are less than or equals to 50, then it should be what? 2. Otherwise, it should be 3. And then comma for exact match. ठीक है? Not applicable क्यों आ रहा है? Drop down से select करना है. But this also brings me to the next set of functions for exception handling. ठीक है? Now, exception handling is basically when you want to ensure certain errors which might occur during when you are applying functions. ठीक है? Especially when you are to face with the modeling question. Modeling question क्या होता है? Modeling question होता है जिसमें वो आपको एक स्प्रेडशीट कह देगा इस तरह डिजाइन करो या उसको डिजाइन दे देगा और उसके बाद वो आपसे उसमें फंक्शंस लगवाएगा. ठीक है? So this is kind of like a calculator for me. If someone walks in for an event, he wants to choose a particular speaker set, wants to choose a particular lighting or seating. So based on the settings, on the options and the number of people attending, I can, calculate the cost. So this is basically a spreadsheet model. Okay, chapter number 9. Now, in this modeling, I have the people attending. Let's say I have chosen 6 speakers. The cost comes out to be this. Let's say if I ask the question from the client that, okay, which lighting system would you go for? And he says, I don't want any lighting. अब हमारा मॉडल फेल हो जाएगा ना. हमारा मॉडल फेल हो जाएगा because we have to choose something. But the client is always right, so probably they want कि अच्छा हमें lighting नहीं चाहिए, ना white चाहिए ना color चाहिए, so keep it out. I still should be able to offer something rather than my model generating what? An error. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब इसके लिए 2-4 functions हैं. One is ये मैंने क्या ऐड किया? Number. So there's a function called equals to is number. You select the cell and when you press enter, this comes out to be true. ठीक है? So if you want to check whether a particular cell has a number in it, function is number. So you can verify it कि वो number है कि नहीं है. ठीक है? So even if I type in 12.36, it is still true. What if I type in today's date, 31/10/2025? Still true. So dates are also considered to be numbers. अच्छा जी, यहाँ पे हम text डाल देते हैं. Now this is text. Function was is number. So it comes out to be false because this is text. In order to check the text, it is equal to is text. Got this? Simple है. अच्छा जी. अब ये देखो यहाँ पे क्या है? This is text. This is an error. We have several errors in spreadsheets. We have not applicable error, we have value error, we have referential error, we have div error. So many errors in Excel. Okay. Equals to is error. Bracket open. Specify this cell. Press enter. Comes out to be true. So you can use the error to your advantage to work out something which will probably work for it. Although there's a very easy fix for this. So if this particular function generates an error, then display a blank cell. So that way the error is going to be produced, but I will take that to my advantage and display as a blank cell rather than my spreadsheet generating an error. ठीक है? So एक simple सा fix भी है इसका. If this cell is equals to blank, then display blank. Otherwise, do the VLOOKUP thing. So value false becomes my function. So you add just this syntax and that will get rid of my error. Got this? ठीक है? अच्छा. So if I choose, let's say, white lighting, I get the cost. And can we verify this? So 40 people attending, white lighting, it should be 175. Is it 175? What if I change the people to 80? 2 to 5. So 2 to 5. And what if I change the white lighting to color lighting? This is 265. So color lighting, 80 people, 265. What if I change the number of people to 30? That is 235 for color lighting. So color lighting, 235. So all are working correctly. ठीक. आगे देखो. कहता है जी कि the method of selection for the type of seating must only contain options to select plastic or cushioned. Okay. So come here, seating. We go with data validation. Again, list. This is going to be plastic or cushioned. Click on OK. We have two options for the seating. Okay. Now enter formula into the cell B10 to automatically calculate the cost for seating for an event. The cost of the seating depends on the number of people attending and the type of the seat chosen, just like the previous cases. More than 75 people costs 75 euros for the plastic and 105 for the cushion. Then 50 to 75 people cost 50 for plastic, 85 for cushion. Fewer than 50 cost 35 for plastic, 55 for cushion. पहला यहाँ पे चेंज क्या आया कि यहाँ पे कैटेगरी ऑफ द नंबर ऑफ पीपल अटेंडिंग देर आर 3 कैटेगरीज. अभी तक हमने कितनी की हैं? देर आर ओनली 2. लेसर देन 50, ग्रेटर देन 50. ठीक. यहाँ पे क्या है? 75 से ज़्यादा हो तो एक कैटेगरी है, 50 to 75 एक कैटेगरी है, लेसर देन 50 एक कैटेगरी है. पहला तो हमने नंबर ऑफ पीपल अटेंडिंग पे. दूसरा क्या है? प्लास्टिक है या कुशन है. डू वी हैव दिस इन आवर लिस्ट? सो दैट मीन्स कि ये हमें फंक्शन क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. ठीक. ओके. सो कम है. लेट्स से आई एम गोना चूज plastic. Number of people attending? How many? 30. What should be the cost based on this table? 35, which is fewer than 50, 35 euros for the plastic. So, which function? If the number of people attending are greater than 75, then what? प्रॉब्लम ये है कि 75 से ग्रेटर हो तो दो ऑप्शंस हैं. जब ट्रू के अंदर दो ऑप्शंस आ गई तो हम क्या करेंगे? इफ दिस इज इक्वल्स टू प्लास्टिक, then it should be how much? 75. So we put 75. Otherwise, it should be 105. That's it. Comma, value false. What if the number of people attending are not greater than 75? Then, if the number of people, which is this cell B1, is greater than 50, or greater than or equals to, greater than or equals to 50, then again we have two options, plastic and cushion. So हम क्या करेंगे? If this cell is equals to plastic, then it should be 50, otherwise 85. So 50, otherwise 85. That's it. Comma, value false. Now we are left with the last option, which is fewer than 50. But fewer than 50 also has two options, plastic or cushion. So we just apply if this value is equals to plastic, then it should be 75, otherwise it should be 105. No, not this. It was 35 and 55. So 35 and 55. Got this?
Or if it's over cushion.
Huh?
We have to do all of this.
Why? I have been mentioning the cushion prices along with it because I'm checking only the plastic now. If it is not plastic, it is automatically cushioned. So value true for plastic price, value false is the cushion price. Okay. So this should display what? 35. This is exactly what we calculated. And if the number of people are fewer than 50 and they choose cushioned, the price is 55.
Isn't we have no exception?
For what? Yeah, you can do it. So let's say this whole function is producing me the value actually, right? This may produce an error if I don't have a value here. Okay, but since this is basically if will not ever produce an error like this. Okay, so what do we do? We just put in if this value is equals to empty, then display empty. Otherwise, apply the if function and you press enter. So now it becomes blank. So if I have nothing here, this is blank. So this is where I did not apply the exception, so I get an error. So if this function, if this value is equals to empty, then display empty. Otherwise, do the VLOOKUP. So I've got the number of people attending. Now I can, ask the questions one by one. Okay, how many people attending? I say, okay, there are going to be 60 people. Fine. Which speaker system are you going to go for? Okay, I'm going to go for 6 speakers. So you get the cost. You're going to go for colored lighting. You get the cost. You go for the plastic seating. So you go for the cost. Okay. And now it says the cost of the security is 250. So we just add 250 here. Now what? Enter formula in B15 to calculate the cost of the event. Now the cost of the event is going to be what? Add all of them. So equals to this value plus this value plus this value plus this value. Yeah, that's it. So that's 850. And all these values are what? The currency. So we will choose currency and we will choose the format as euros. Yeah. Decimal places or no decimal places, that's totally fine. So this is how it looks. Now, select the following values in your spreadsheet to display. Number of people attending 50. So we add 50. Then 4 speaker systems. So we choose 4. Colored lighting and seating is plastic. Color lighting and seating is plastic. 250 is the security. We get 685. This also needs to be the same format. So I will just click this, go to home, click on format painter, and then select this set. So the same format applies to this. Okay, so this was the solution to your exercise 18. I hope you were able to follow this up.